Defense agreements are seen as a way to bring countries closer together. They show that countries have common goals and help to make their militaries stronger. Plus, they can have big effects on things like diplomacy, the economy, and politics. In fact, the submarine agreement between the US, UK, and Australia was a big part of creating AUKUS. What makes AUKUS special is that it's all about advanced technologies like artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, quantum computing, underwater warfare, and hypersonic capabilities. While Quad focuses on discussing shared ideas among Australia, India, Japan, and the United States in the Indo-Pacific region, AUKUS is different. It's a security pact specifically between the trio of the US, UK, and Australia. AUKUS will bring several advantages to Australia, such as improved security, stronger defense collaboration, a boost in deterrence capabilities through nuclear-powered submarines, economic gains, and increased geopolitical influence. The trio is actively promoting the expansion of AUKUS, aiming to amplify its capabilities. Looking at the bigger picture, this expansion appears favorable as it involves the integration of more influential nations to counteract China's escalating assertiveness and territorial ambitions. With China's mounting aggression posing a significant challenge, strengthening collective deterrence is imperative. New Zealand and South Korea have already shown interest in joining AUKUS. Apart from China's reactions, the overall sentiment in the Indo-Pacific has been mostly positive, or at least not negative, since the pact was announced in September 2021, indicating widespread concerns about China's military buildup, increasing power, and intentions in the region. Now, reports indicate that the US and the UK are urging India and Japan to join AUKUS, especially since both countries are already part of Quad. From India's viewpoint, this could offer significant benefits, notably easy access to technologies that could significantly enhance India's defense capabilities. While India has not displayed any inclination towards joining AUKUS, and recently, the Indian Foreign Minister explicitly dismissed any possibility of India becoming a member of the Western-led North Atlantic Treaty Organization. However, in a significant move, India reportedly collaborated with numerous IAEA member states in 2022 to counter China and Russia's efforts within the IAEA to obstruct the pact. Russia and China cited concerns that sharing nuclear propulsion technology for submarines breached the NPT. India prevented China's resolution from gaining majority support, leading to its withdrawal on the conference's final day. To make it clear, India's vote against China and Russia primarily reflects its stance on nuclear proliferation issues and commitment to upholding non-proliferation norms, rather than explicit support for AUKUS. For India, there are reasons it prefers to stay away from these kinds of security pacts. India is comfortable maintaining its strategic autonomy. For instance, it can simultaneously partner with the US, UK, and Europe, while also fostering relationships with countries that may not align with the interests of these Western powers, such as Iran, Venezuela, Russia, Argentina, and others. AUKUS, or any similar security pact, such as NATO+, is part of a US-led alliance. This alliance could potentially encroach upon India's autonomy and its ability to independently shape policies, especially concerning China. This is because the United States, as the leader of these alliances, typically has its own strategic priorities and interests. Joining such alliances could mean aligning with or being influenced by US and other alliance members' foreign policy goals, which may not always perfectly align with India's interests or objectives. This alignment could potentially compromise India's autonomy to make independent decisions on issues such as trade, defense, or regional diplomacy. India's relationship with China is intricate. India faces its own bilateral challenges with China while formulating a strategy for the Indo-Pacific region. Aligning with the US under NATO+ or any other similar pacts could inadvertently escalate tensions and provide justification for further Chinese military buildup along the India-China border. Another aspect to consider is that India can still enjoy tangible benefits of being aligned with the US without committing to a treaty-based framework. In May 2022, India and the US announced the US-India Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technology, aiming to enhance and broaden their strategic technology partnership and defense industrial cooperation. India and the US are positioned to lead the clean energy transformation, diversify global semiconductor supply chains, and those of other critical goods, and spearhead advancements in artificial intelligence, advanced computing, biotech, and quantum computing. The Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technology framework lays the groundwork for extensive collaboration between India and the US, aiming to establish India and the US as trusted technology partners. This initiative facilitates the building of supply chains and encourages co-production and co-development of various items. And Russia is not out of India's radar just yet. In fact, India gives the same importance to Russia as it does to the US, UK, or any other Western countries. India has not only signed several logistics agreements with all Quad countries, France, Singapore, and South Korea, beginning with the Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement with the US in 2016. But a similar logistics agreement is also underway with Russia. The reality is that India has learned from past experiences that the West may not always be entirely reliable. France serves as another example in this regard. Australia's unilateral cancellation of its contract to purchase French submarines and its decision to join the AUKUS Security Pact are seen as a significant blow to French diplomacy. France described it as a stab in the back. The original deal aimed to supply Australia with diesel-electric Barracuda submarines, valued at €34 billion over 25 years. For France, the goal was to establish a partnership with the largest nation in the South Pacific, one that would solidify a close and enduring agreement for 50 years, thereby strengthening its diplomatic and military presence in a region of significant strategic importance. And let me make one thing clear, France is regarded as one of the closest allies of the US and UK. By alienating Paris, it undermines trust within the Western alliance. If they can take such actions against their close allies, it raises questions about where India stands in this regard. Additionally, while AUKUS may appear primarily focused on countering China, it doesn't mean it's not also directed against Russia. India might refrain from joining this group to avoid upsetting Russia. India seeks to bolster its fleet with nuclear attack submarines. However, since the US is hesitant to share its nuclear technology, India is left with two remaining options, Russia and France. Collaborating with France presents a viable path forward. France has a long history of independently constructing submarines and other vessels with great success. They are aware of what they are doing, and the vessels they have constructed have served the French Navy admirably. France's current SSNs, although their reactors may not be as efficient as those of the US, have been tailored to meet French requirements and are expected to serve effectively in the French Navy for the foreseeable future. India already possesses the know-how for building reactors for submarines, making collaboration a viable option. Turning back to AUKUS and the Australian submarine deal, the idea of Australian submarines operating in the Indian Ocean isn't reassuring for India's security observers. While they're pleased for Australia, a Quad member and close partner in the Indo-Pacific, to receive nuclear submarine technology from the US and UK, Indian watchers are concerned about the potential increase in friendly nuclear attack submarines in the eastern Indian Ocean. Having more foreign submarines near India's shores could weaken its influence and authority in the region. However, fostering closer ties with the US and other Quad partners remains crucial. The threat of Chinese aggression in the Indian Ocean is not just theoretical. India needs as many partners as it can get, and in doing so, it must avoid alienating any countries, whether from the West or the East.